Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Total Barnage. Today I am joined with
Charlie.
And Charlie, what are we talking about today?
Today, I'm really forcing the issue of this journal right here. I thought today, I was sitting on the bike this morning in what has become a very hot and sweaty warehouse at Foundry.
But it's now called...
Which is now called...
Destination or something?
No, Definition.
Definition.
I keep thinking Demolition, but Definition Gym, they've had a rebrand.
What's the tea with that? Is it the whole of Foundry rebranded to that, or...?
They were basically in a franchise, and I was chatting to the guy that owns the spot, and he just said that there just wasn't a kind of a singular, motive. They weren't really aligned.
So we thought, sack this off.
Well, the main thing was the other gyms were based in the Midlands.
Yeah.
And in the Midlands, you've got quite a few unis.
Yeah.
And all of the adverts and all of the sales and whatever, the offers were come back to uni. And obviously in Tunbridge, that's not going to work because there are no universities in Tunbridge.
Yeah.
So it's flip-flopped. So it's, instead of, them saying, oh, here's a come back to uni offer, it's no, we need a, Easter holidays offer.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't aligned, and so they've done a big old rebrand. But the bike is very close to the roof, and it's right by...
the little window light.
Yeah, the window light. And so I was very sweaty today. But I was thinking on the bike, as I normally do.
Got to think on the bike sometimes. Bike.
These thoughts...
That sticker.
Yeah. Saves lives.
Saves lives.
But today I was we keep kind of banging on about the mindset, and especially when I'm chatting with Guy, who is still in Mongolia at the moment.
Hopefully he's alive.
Hopefully he's alive. I think he is. His Instagram's active.
Yeah.
So one can hope. If not, we can take over this place. It's all right.
Oh yeah.
It's all right. He won't listen. He won't listen to these.
No, he won't.
But if you do, Guy, hi.
Hi, Guy.
But I thought, we kind of talk always about mindset and how mindset is important, and how perspective and the mental game is probably about 99% of the thing, and the physical is only just a tiny component of that. Yes. And I've brought a few little shifts, perspective shifts, principles that I go off of, that I've learned through performing at a decent level of running, being in a different country in America and training, and through a lot of injuries and uncertainties and setbacks. So I've brought through a few topics and ideas, little thoughts that we can talk about, Charlotte, and I'd love to get your opinion on some of these.
I've got a lot here.
So the first one is, I'm just going to start off, lots of people will turn off now because this is another Latinism.
Labaro.
It's come from the Latin. This is about decision making, and really what makes a good decision, and how can we get better at making decisions. Mainly because I feel like we spend a lot of time wasting time because we need to make a decision, but we don't really understand a framework of what a decision actually is. And so from the Latin, decision comes from the word decidere, or decido, which pretty much means to cut off. So like an incision, if you were to, make a little cut into someone, cut in. Decision is to cut off. And it got me thinking, as things normally do, that a lot of the things that we make decisions over is not necessarily to make a decision to do something. It's actually, what are we willing to cut off? So if I were to make a decision to go to invest more time into my training, then as an opportunity cost, what else could I be doing with that time? If I spend an extra half an hour in the gym, that is a half an hour that I can't be spent somewhere else. And it's am I okay to give up or to cut off something else I'm going to do with my time? And so I frame it that way. It's not do I want to go to the gym more? Do I want to train more? Or do I want to sleep more? Or do I want to hang out with friends more? It's more so about, what am I happy? Cutting off seems a bit aggressive, but you kind of have to make that cut and then off of it.
Yeah.
Does that resonate? Does that?
No, that is good, and I've never really looked at it from that perspective. I I also feel like there's like, back to kind of what you were talking about at the start with decisions as well. It's such a broad thing to speak about because there's so like varying degrees of decisions as well, right? Like I could decide a second ago, decided to take my sunglasses off, too bright, decided to put them back down again. But then you can also have life-changing decisions. So when you really go into the deeper side of decisions, I was just thinking about it as you're saying. I was like, oh, there's a lot to talk about with decisions.
What's a decision that you've might have made recently? Is there anything that you've switched up?
Like a big decision?
Anything. I mean, I'm under the kind of the opinion that it works from the small scale up all the way to the big scale.
Yeah.
There just might be, we can kind of get onto it as we talk more about decisions, you're cutting off a part of your identity is one of the main things. You're not just cutting off like an activity or a task or something that you could be doing. You have to, if you are to make a decision about your identity, the person that you want to be, you're having to cut off a previous version of yourself.
Yes.
I think it works all the way through, but whatever you fancy, if it's a big decision or a little decision.
Well, recently with like social media, I came to the realization that I feel like I was doing a lot of posts to try and just fit in with the Instagram algorithm. And it really, I've been thinking about it quite a lot, and I feel like I've really lost myself just trying to post for like other people's approval and like kind of potentially, brands I might want to work with, etc. And I made the decision the other day to just chill out a little bit because I completely lost my love for like social media and just being on my phone as well. And the decision to just let go a little bit and just not, trying is the key word at the moment.
Yeah.
To just let go a little bit more. And I was speaking in my story the other day, and I just think I'm just gonna try and go back to, doing what I liked doing at the start, because like in terms of posting.
What's the difference? Like what sort of stuff were you posting at the start compared to what you kind of fell into?
So, well,
like
I would just kind of look at the posts that would do well on my Instagram. And a lot of it was just kind of like physique updates and stuff like that, or posting in like gym outfits and not kind of adding any like sustenance to it. And like, my main thing that I do is that I'm a coach, and I love that, and I love helping people, and I love doing posts that people find interesting. But those might not do the best online, and they haven't done the best with some of the stuff I've done, right? But at the end of the day, that's kind of like my baseline with work, and that's what I am the most passionate about. And I think I put a bit too much pressure on myself and lost myself a little bit with trying to just do these posts for external validation, and actually I just needed to do stuff that was helping the people that are in my close circle. Mm-hmm. So I've decided to start doing more of that again, because I used to enjoy doing that, and like making cooking videos and stuff. I need to go back to doing that again.
I saw in your story,
really
you said you want to bring back some cooking videos.
Yeah, it's a fun time for everyone as well, because then we're all eating nice bits and bobs.
It's very true. I brought in another very bland functional meal in today.
It smells great,
but it's so good. Yeah, chicken pesto pasta.
Yeah, it's a staple.
It's done well.
But yeah, I think it's not a very deep decision at all. But I think in terms of my like peace of mind and putting pressure on myself, I decided, you know what, Shah, you've got to just like chill out a little bit. And I've got a bit of a tendency to be like a people pleaser, and that can be within like a close knit group of people, or via social media, and think, okay, this is what people want to see, or what I believe people want to see, so I'm just posting that. It's not.
Yeah, that sort of like audience capture, I think they call it, is a really tough thing, I guess, for someone that is a creator of content. Is you get to a point where, like you say, if you want to work with some brands, you might have to deviate to play the game of trying to get more eyes on you. And I guess it's all down to like what metrics of like success do you want to have in your account. And I guess when you have that, the external, let's say, initial like motivation to appeal to a brand by having more followers or more views or more likes or like more engagement.
Yeah.
Because those are the kind of things that they might look for if you were advertising like their products. It then does come at the expense of the authentic stuff. And actually, you know, it depends. I feel like it's definitely an okay thing to do, because it's a series of almost invisible decisions that kind of lead you away a little bit.
Yeah.
But you do get to that point where you're like, okay, this is now feeling like maybe like a bit of a chore.
Exactly. And I think at the end, I you know, I'm a big believer on, like, the things that are meant to be in your life will come to you because of, like, who you are. They should come to you because of who you are organically, not who you kind of try to portray yourself to be. And I think I was trying to portray myself to be something quite a lot, and it was like a bit of a click, and I was like, why am I doing this? Because if I do end up getting a brand approaching me, they're probably approaching me thinking that I'm someone else, when actually, you know, if I did want to be myself, and I think that would then just cause like a vicious cycle, all of the above.
It's like like the thing with kind of first dates. Like, you go out dating, and there's a I think it's maybe like a third date kind of phenomena, where for a lot of the times, like, it takes 3 dates to maybe understand the other person. Like, they're putting up a bit of a front to get to know a bit extra, a bit more.
Curtain.
You kind of you might act a certain way. You might be super positive or interesting or whatever.
Try to be cool.
Do you? Is that the way you go?
You know what? Now
try to be cool.
Now I've just given, like, I used to try and kind of act like a bit of a cool girl. Now I'm just like, because I just think, if I can't be me from the get-go, again, it's going to be like, oh, that person's going to like you for... So now, I mean, I'm not doing first dates now, but like prior, it was a case of like, I can't be asked to be anyone but myself.
But it is exhausting. Yeah. Like you say, like, it's the same in the not that I'm experienced at dating whatsoever.
Expose yourself like that.
But it's like... If you find an account on Hinge, it's not me. But but it is just like, you know, you start. It's just not rewarding, and also, like you say, like if a brand wants to work with you, or you end up seeing someone more, like, they're going to see you as yourself. Like, they're going to see you on some of your like less positive days, and it is the choice to...
It's authentic, isn't it?
Exactly, it's the authenticity. And that's not something you can... I don't know if there's probably a whole YouTube algorithm on, like, how to be authentic. And it's literally just like...
Are you watching that?
You know, just keep it simple and just, you know, be yourself.
Be who you are around your family is what I say, right? Because that's who your most authentic self is likely to be.
Maybe.
Actually, yeah, it depends. But, you know, if you're close to your family and how you kind of feel most... Be who you are around people you feel most at ease with.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're probably going to... If you feel kind of safe around those people, that's when you're going to... Don't like using that word. But that's probably when you're going to be your most authentic self, with people that you're comfortable with, right? There you go.
And I think just having a little, like, stock take, a little review of, you know, if you are doing something, whether it be at work or at the gym, or like with something like content creation, is it the thing? If you didn't... I know a lot of things is like audience dependent. If there wasn't an audience, or if you were just speaking to like one person, how would it change, you know, how you create content?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, you know, I think this is like in the early stages of this podcast, is we give ourselves loads of free reign to explore loads of topics. It's kind of how I see it. It's like, we want to do 2 a week, which means after a year there'll be 100 episodes, and then, which would be nuts.
That's going to be fun.
Close to 30.
It's mental,
Ready.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Both age and podcast. Getting old, Charles.
I'm going to be 25 in two weeks.
I'm on the wrong side of 25. 26.
It's all going to change. Oh no.
We're going downhill, honestly.
But it's like, it'll be interesting how, you know, once this podcast gains, you know, like world status, a bit more traction.
Obviously it will.
How will it change the way that, you know, we might talk? And it might be a certain case that we try and appeal to certain audiences, and naturally that will happen. And then how quickly can we have a little discussion and be like, yeah, okay, that we're not, like, let's say we're not having fun recording and making podcasts and stuff like that.
We got to switch it up.
Yeah. So that's one part of, I guess, like, you know, gone off the track a little bit from the decisions, but I think it's
sorry.
important. But there's another thing about decisions, which is, making the right decision. And it's a framework that it must have come from a podcast back when I was in third year at uni. So a few years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. And I remember listening to it as I was walking by the river in Durham. And I remember listening to it, and it was a decision framework, making decisions. And it was asking yourself if the decision that you're making needs to be a good quality decision, or it just needs to be a quick decision. So it's about saying if it's quality or speed that you're looking for with decisions. And you have basically like a quadrant. So you've got at the top, let's say it's like, it's urgent. The decision's urgent or it's not urgent. And then on the other side, you have like, it needs to be a good quality decision, or the quality actually doesn't matter. And I remember that a lot of decisions, like I would spend way too long making a decision that just needed to be made rather than needed to be made well.
I am the same. I still do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Using that kind of idea.
Indecisive. Yeah.
Where do you fall into
with
the trap?
Just the most basic things, right? If people are like, there's 2 places, I've given you 2 options to go for dinner. This place or this place, where do you want to go? I'm like,
so you want to look for the quality. You're looking for quality, like you want to make a good decision.
I think so, yeah. And now it's a case of me just I will recognise that I'm being too indecisive, and then I just pick one.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask you quickly is, we should probably just continue with what you were saying, but it just came to the top of my head.
I got it in my brain. It's all right. Can explore.
What to you? How do you know if you've made the right decision?
That's kind of where my mind was going, which is, how do I know if I've made the right decision? I make sure I've got, but I guess it depends what scale like this is about making the right decision. So something with my surgery, if that's the right decision, a lot of the times with my injuries, I've learned that I first of all need to gather information to get clarity and a little bit more kind of just understanding of actually, like, from an objective point of view, what's the right decision to make. So it's like gathering information which is adequate enough. It doesn't need to be everything. Like, I'm not going to be able to know everything about like my body and about the injury and how like complex it is. But I need to gain enough information that I'm happy making an imperfect decision. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that I will sit in the emotion of the decision and just allow whatever emotion to arise and how I feel about it, I guess from more like a gut perspective.
Yeah.
But then also from a kind of a cognitive, I will maybe think about certain scenarios to then come to that decision. And it is then once I'm happy with the information that I have at the time and that I have clarity and I'm aligned with my values, then I'll make the decision and I'll lock it in. And that's it. And once I kind of realised as a person, for me, I am very decisive in the sense that once I make that decision,
stand by it.
I am very happy. And it's exactly the same in my head. I'm like, what am I willing to cut off? What am I willing to let go of? And I might understand that once I make that first decision, there may be occurrences, little kind of experiences that come back where I have to reinforce that decision. So it's not necessarily that I make the decision to have surgery. Once I've made it, I've locked it in. Yeah. Like I might have doubts about it, but I've already factored in that there are going to be some sort of doubts at certain points.
Just cycle back to why you made that original decision in the first place.
Yeah. So it's like setting expectations, and the more that I understand the decisions that I make, the more that I have to understand exactly at which point I've made the decision. And I would say, like, you know, from a regret point of view, if I am happy that at the time it felt right, it made sense, and I had enough information that was adequate to make the decision, then I can't go back on it. I can't try and hypothesize. I can't use hindsight bias, anything like that, because especially with injuries and especially how things play out, like going out to America at the time, before I was going, the thing that I valued was financial support. I wanted to go out there because I wanted to dedicate. I'd had quite a intense like academic degree, and I naturally, over the 3 years, I'd gone from being like academic focused to then doing a bit more running, and finding through injuries that when I lacked running, that was the thing that I really wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to go full time on the running side. And for me, I wanted the financial backing to not have a job and just go and train.
Love that.
At the time, that decision was likely, I felt like it was the right decision to make. I could probably pick it apart if I wanted to, naturally. It was maybe, for my running career up to this point, if we like stop it here, probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made. Like genuinely, if we take it from a purely metric of success, career, like can I run fast now? It's obviously a work in progress, but like how did that training impact my running? Seeing the success of the people in my group that started running really well literally when I went to America and are now on the world stage competing, running like seriously fast. I've made a fucking terrible decision.
Yeah. And do you regret that decision?
No, not
This
at all.
is what I was going to lead on to. Are there any decisions that you've made in life which you would say you regret? This is like a therapy session.
Are there any decisions that I've made in my life that I regret? On the whole, the decisions that I have regretted for a short period of time have been those when I haven't been mindful of myself, like as a whole. Like if I'm putting myself in a situation where, you know, I'm going out and like making myself feel worse the next day for the sake of something that isn't really worth it, through just kind of pure like lack of consideration for my like future self. That's something that I regret. And then what I'll do is I will allow myself to regret it for a good, however long it takes, to then understand that when the next decision comes about to like care for myself or to not care for myself, I have a good reminder that it wasn't a good time last time.
Lesson learnt.
Yeah. I think sometimes when I've decided not to regret things, I haven't learnt the lesson. And it's important to feel, I think it's probably important to feel bad about something.
Yeah,
if
100%.
you've done harm to yourself or others.
Of course.
It's like you kind of need to pay the consequences of that so that you learn from it.
Yeah, I agree.
What about you?
To be honest, Charlie, it's funny.
Right back at you.
I wouldn't have put it in as good of a way as you have, but I think a similar kind of thing. There's obviously stuff I regret, and a lot of it has been when it's been, because I'm quite an impulsive person, and sometimes I've made some decisions which might have been a little bit impulsive that I've regretted and thought, oh, you silly girl, why did you do that? But I think now, from a mature standpoint, you know, other side of 25 now, that hypothalamus.
Frontal lobe.
Yeah, frontal lobe, that's it.
Fully developed.
Fully developed. I think I'm a little bit better with being like, okay, well, I learned something from that. And most of these silly decisions that I've made where I have regretted them, you learn a lesson and you don't make it again. And I think that's it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And I think it's part of being an adult, isn't it? You do learn these things that you think, probably wouldn't do that again. But hey ho, now I know that I won't do that again because I've experienced it.
Yeah, like you've alluded to, it's not ignoring those signals and feelings of regret, like to inform the next decision that you make. It's like you could easily brush it off.
Yeah.
And let's say that you made a decision, you don't feel good about it, but you just let it go. You try and let it go too quick.
Yeah.
You know, then it's not going to have that impact.
Yeah. It's important to humble yourself with stuff, I think, because otherwise you're just living in a bit of a state of a delusion, right? If you don't regret anything, like, I think it's natural to regret stuff, and it's also natural to kind of make mistakes and think, oh, that probably wasn't the right decision in hindsight. So yeah.
I had a regret budget last year.
Oh gosh.
Right. So
Is that in your journal? Probably.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere in the other one.
The other one.
Yeah, somewhere in the other one. This is a new one.
No, it's a new one.
But that last year, so along my kind of knee injury the last 2 years, I was trying loads of different things. I was trying lots of rehab, seeing an osteopath. I was trying to do less, do more strengthening, do mobility, let it heal, train more, whatever. Train less, literally. Actually, like, exhausting every single option.
Up, down, left, right. Yeah, exactly.
Sideways, roly-poly,
Flick it.
rolling down the stairs. Maybe not. Actually hurt to walk down the stairs.
Oh, mate.
But I got to a point, I went to the physio again after a year of trying to sort this stuff out, and we did some strength testing, and there was nothing, like, no imbalance anywhere. We're kind of happy with the osteopath that my alignment was right, and it then got to a point where it's like, what's the next step? And maybe it's, you know, after a year of being injured, you've got protective mechanisms to not be able to get back running, because in your mind and your nervous system, it's just very like attuned to the alarm signals of the knee. And maybe I had kind of, the alarm was super sensitive, and I was feeling pain where there wasn't always like a certain amount of pain.
Yeah.
So I gave myself a regret budget, being that I would get back. We said, okay, we're just going to give it a go to be really positive for the next 2 months, like blindly positive.
Toxic positivity.
Of saying, like,
golly.
I am healthy, you know, I can run. And I built up my mileage over like 2 to 3 months, about 10 weeks, from no running to 20 miles a week, which for me is like nothing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, it's like, I should be able to do
20
that.
20 miles a week.
It's like 3 or 4 runs a week.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm just going to give this like next 3 months, I'm not going to allow myself to regret the decision, because I'm just going to give it a go. If it doesn't work out, then it's okay. That's within the budget of regret.
Okay.
And it didn't fucking work out. But it's another option that we needed to explore at that point, because it's like, from a scientific point of view, from like a strength point of view, you know, and it wasn't a surprise. Like, I've been doing rehab for a whole year and I was stronger than I've ever been.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what's next?
Of course. Yeah.
And so that's then, after we did that, then I had a month of like backing off again. And then before I went out to Australia, I was like, right, let's go see him again. Let's go see the physio, see if there literally anything else that we've explored.
Yeah. What else?
And then I went and saw a consultant, went to the surgeon. It's like, it's kind of the last resort. So
Quad's the same size as the other one now?
yeah, I've built back my right quad. I reckon it's
Wow.
almost overtaking the left.
Really?
I'm doing strength work now, and I'm still doing a bit more on the right side.
It's mad.
And it's, the nervous system's crazy.
Because you had that muscle there before. It's easy to put it back again.
I reckon it's stronger. My hamstrings are already stronger than they were before, pre-surgery.
And that's good as well. You want to be able to have that equal strength in your hammies and your quads to support your knee.
Yeah, 100%. So that's kind of decisions. I'm trying to think. There's another thing that I've kind of learnt with making decisions, but it's kind of escaped me for the moment. But it might come back.
I can relate.
Yeah, it's just gone
things.
from my mind. But I think that's it. Like the decisions, it's pretty much like asking yourself, rather than making the decision that you want to make, it's asking yourself, like, if you make that decision, what are you cutting off? Or more so, what are you willing to let go is the main thing. It's like, you know, cutting off sounds a bit aggressive.
Yeah, what would be your first step? Is that what you'd ask yourself, number one? What are you willing to?
If it's a big decision, I would have a look at it and say, what's the consequences of this decision?
Would you potentially write it down somewhere?
I'd always write it down.
It's in the journal.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Journal.
I make sure, like, that's part of the thing, is like gaining clarity.
Yeah, of course.
For some people, it might be
See it.
like meditation. It might be talking about it. It might be writing things down. I think it's anything that you can establish distance between, you know, the thoughts and the emotions and how they might corrupt like the decision making, especially if you're someone that makes decisions based off emotions rather than kind of rational, like the rational side of things. And there's always a mixture of both. You go a bit rational, a bit logical, but also you want to be able to feel that it's right. It's so funny, actually. The first thing that I wrote in this journal was, and I was deliberating a little bit in Waterstones, because I saw one. There's a lady that got another one, and I was like, "Where'd you get that from?" And it's like pointed like near the front door.
Yeah.
And I said, like, I wrote down, I said, I chose this journal because it felt right in the moment. That seems enough.
Amen.
So if you want to just distill it down to that, it's like, if it feels right and you got clarity of mind, then
I like that a lot, and I think people should take that little snippet and run with it.
And that actually reminds me of what I was gonna say, which is when we're talking about making good decisions, and if you've got the framework of having a good decision or a fast decision, speed of decision, a lot of the times what you think is a good decision is going to prevent you from making a good decision.
Okay.
In the sense that a lot of the times just making a decision is the good decision.
Good decision.
Like making the decision with a job that you want to go for, making a decision with the route that you want to take to work, right? If you're at a fork in the road and you're like, okay, there's a bit of traffic going this way, there's no traffic going this way, but the country routes, it's going to take a little bit longer. At that point in time, because you want to get there as fast as possible, you just need to pick one. Pick one and just roll with it.
Yeah, ride the wave, baby.
Just ride the wave of that decision.
Gnarly.
And actually, that's the best decision that you can make.
Yeah.
Is making the decision quick. So it's like, asking yourself if it's, as someone for you, that's someone that likes to make good quality decisions.
Yes.
A lot of the decisions that you make is just like, where are we going to eat? Well, we'll lock it in and then we'll make what we can of it.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
So that's decisions. The next one is something which I learnt, when was it? I think it was when I gave up drinking after my 21st. I still drink every now and then.
Yeah. You're like me. You wouldn't go, I'm sober, but you don't drink.
I'll drink, every few weeks maybe.
Yeah.
And don't really know how much, but sometimes a little bit.
Fly on your knee.
Yes.
Get off. It's healing, all right?
Get off my knee. This one was about sacrifices.
Okay.
And that what is initially a sacrifice ends up becoming just a lifestyle choice further down the line.
Yes.
This was with drinking for me. If I were to go through a lot of my writing before I made the choice to give up drinking for that, like the track season, was a lot about my identity would be, I'm not the type of person that will give up alcohol completely. I was at uni in my second year. Yeah. I'm like, I see the people that I train with and they've given up alcohol and I'm just not the same as them. Yeah. I would like to keep it in because I enjoy it. It makes me more relaxed towards my approach of training, and it had loads of benefits, and I could not see myself giving it up completely. Then I decided, I was like, right, after a while, I said, let me just give it a go. I want to have a really good track season. I was injured for 7 months, and I was like, I want to give this a proper go. And it initially was a sacrifice. The next couple of months, it was 21st season.
Yeah.
I was going to loads of parties. I was still going out clubbing in Durham.
Drinking? No, sober.
Well, this was sober. Yeah. So I was out sober at clubs, which are terrible even when you're drunk. Yeah. It was just a terrible experience, but that was all sacrifices, and I had to keep making specific decisions in that time of not to drink. It's kind of worth it. Yeah. It's worth it. And after a while, I was looking at the kind of the social. I had to re-socialize. Talking to people when sober was something which was alien to me, especially at uni. Everything involved drink.
So true.
It was just everyone would ask, and it's a classic thing a lot with drinking is people assume that you don't have a problem, or you do have a problem if you don't drink. Yeah. It's just okay, what? Why? Why are you not drinking? It's I just don't want to. It's
don't be boring.
You okay?
I'm not being boring, buddy. Still gonna go out and have a great time. Please, just let me chill. Just hate feeling horrible in the morning. Yeah. To be fair. That was
it. I was I wonder how this is gonna. I was just interested to see how it impact my training. And throughout that period, it felt like a sacrifice in that first 2 months, and then after a while, it just transformed into a choice that I was making that I'd rather do. And I think, that is down to the fact that I didn't really know the value of the sacrifice at the time because I hadn't given it a go. But once I made what was initially a sacrifice, I kind of understood I can, training is so much easier. It's so much easier to be consistent. Or it really doesn't matter if I stay out past 10 o'clock because no one's going to remember it anyway. Or, I don't need that extra drink after midnight. Yeah. And then after a while, I was like, actually, I can see the value in deciding not to drink in certain occasions, and it didn't feel like a sacrifice anymore.
Yeah. For me, I've never really seen especially with alcohol, and I used to really struggle with this at uni. It's like, get to a certain point in the night, I just don't need another drink. You know,
It's done.
People just they will just top up till the lights come on. And I'm like, I can't.
Where's your cut off? Was it just
I
feeling?
have actually got quite a good. So I've also life lessons. I've also I had a few times where I have just drunk too much, and I've just learned. And it took me a few times to go, thinking, I think I'm on death's door with this hangover. I think it is alcohol poisoning. To go, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And even now, for me, I think I've got quite a sensitive stomach. So I had something called gastritis a long time ago, which is like inflammation of your stomach lining. So basically, it's what you get before you get the stomach ulcers. Okay. And that was horrible.
Sounds nasty.
It wasn't great. And I think from that, I'm sure my stomach is completely fine now. But I have quite a sensitive stomach when it comes to drinking. And even I remember on Christmas Eve, not Christmas, was it Christmas Eve? Yeah, Christmas Eve. I went out for a few cocktails, and I wasn't drunk at all. I've got a really high tolerance with alcohol.
So you think that in reality?
No, but I really wasn't drunk.
No, I was not drunk.
I had to be sick because my stomach just wasn't it just felt. I could just feel it sitting there. It was making me feel really sick.
Gloopy.
But anyway,
gloop,
gloop. Yeah.
Gloop, gloop, gloop.
Gloopy, gloop, gloop, slosh. Yeah, horrible. But, at uni, I think I'm usually pretty good if I go out and I'm drinking. I think it gets to a point. I don't really do that anymore, but I really don't. But I know when to go. I don't think I need another one. And I back myself that I'm quite good at that now. And even at uni, I had my friend trying to give me a flipping Jaeger bombs. And I hate them anyway. But it would be 2 a.m. And I thought, I'm actually alright. I'm just gonna have a tropical Red Bull or something. So I've got something to kind of keep.
You're still having caffeine.
Yeah, rocking, mate. My sleep wasn't great at uni. That's not. It's got much better now.
Well, that's what I found when I stopped drinking. I replaced it with caffeine.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to socialise without being buzzed.
Yeah.
So I then realised that I ended up going to bed later than everyone else because they went to bed at 2 a.m. because they passed out. I was up at 3 a.m. because I fucking had 4 Red Bulls.
But everybody had terrible sleep quality, right? If you're sleeping with alcohol, you're not actually sleeping, it's just passing out. And if you're sleeping with caffeine, it's terribly disruptive.
HRV mega low.
HRV -1. But yeah, that was actually funny because I would just replace it with I had a proper, because I don't like regular Red Bulls. I really don't like the taste of energy drink. That energy drink flavour. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
But
standard Monster.
Bulls,
yeah.
the fruity flavoured ones, they were wicked. Or just like a Coke.
A back of tropical Red Bull.
Yeah, and I just tell them that it was an alcoholic drink. They're like, "Oh, what are you drinking?" It's like, yeah, it's just a vodka Red Bull, mate. Oh, it's just a Coke and vodka. And they're like, "Oh, can I have some?" Give them some. They wouldn't know the difference because they're all blind drunk. Great. Yeah, I just first year I've been there, done that, did the initiation with hockey, and I thought I don't need to be chundering with strong Dark fruits. 3 litres of it, chug it. Just to prove that you're well hard.
Elite drink.
It's fine. It was good.
If you're
proper
16.
Society drinking it.
Someone cracked open a Dark Fruits
Frosty
at the weekend.
Jacks.
On the Stag in Edinburgh.
It's not a bad.
Someone brought it back and it's like, what are you playing at?
Perrogino.
What are you playing at? Perrogino.
Fruits. Anyway.
But yeah, the sacrifices then become lifestyle choices, guys.
You drink that tropical Red Bull.
And I think it is down to not judging how something's going to go before you do it.
Yes.
Or giving yourself a being wrong budget. Giving yourself an awkward budget. Giving yourself a people think I'm boring budget.
I'm in debt with that one too. Give yourself a people hate me budget. Oh God.
wasn't gonna go that far.
Everyone hates you. You ever get that? It's just me.
I'm not even going to try and relate to that.
What?
It won't come across in the right way. No, can't relate. It's just you.
Yeah, it's just you. Okay.
Let the people decide.
That's fine. Bun Jimmers, if you're listening, please just give me a bit of an ego boost.
Anytime you see Charlotte in the next class,
I think you all hate me.
Yeah. But then you'll know if they say like, "Oh, you all right?" It's like, oh, we really like you. You're literally just saying that.
You're lying.
You're
What are you lying for?
inauthentic. But yeah, sacrifices become lifestyle choices once you understand and have a lived experience of the value that you're initially sacrificing and what it actually does for you, and that change is possible.
Show.
Next one on the list. This is how would things be different if we weren't in a rush?
Ooh.
Not for their ears.
Oh, context, please.
I thought this thought came about when I had a couple of days where I was rushing to work because I hadn't had good time management.
I can relate.
Yeah. Just chucking that over to you. And I just thought sometimes, if the traffic was bad or I hadn't left like an extra 5 minutes, how did it impact the quality of my drive to work?
Oh, very stressful drive for me. It's the Tuesday curse I talk about with Petra and Piers, because my time management isn't. It's just Tuesday. My time management isn't ideal, but usually I leave with an accurate amount of time to get to the gym. So that's the issue. So it's not that I'm leaving.
No room
for error. This is the problem with me. So I look at it and I go, yeah, that's the time it takes to get to the gym with a nice clear run. The problem is on a Tuesday there seems to be a curse where I'll bump into a learner driver. It's a recurring slot.
It's crazy
Sometimes
how you haven't picked that one up
Sometimes I'm just lucky and they're not doing it, And then
they've passed their test.
Also, the traffic going through Woodhurst, and I drive to work, and luckily Petra and Piers, they're great, and we all get on very well, and they just find it quite funny,
Well, they do, but there is a 10-minute period where they're here before you and they start chatting so much shit about you.
That's also the 10-minute period that they're 10 minutes early. This is the issue. But I'm driving to work, and I arrive and I'm pissed off, and then within 30 seconds I'm absolutely fine because it's Petra and Piers and they're lovely and we're all good. But I do get quite stressed, and I'm like, if I just sorted that out, and anyway, talk about.
It's a learning process. It's a learning process.
I'm getting to that. Hey.
What would it take for you? What would you have to cut off to make the decision to go earlier?
Just bloody leave the house on time in the morning to go to the gym, because I get up at 6 to go to the gym, but I always end up procrastinating and leaving too late. So there's a knock-on effect, and then I leave the gym every time. I leave at 20 past. I leave at 20 past to get to here at 11. But I do have some clear runs. But I need to leave at 15 just to allow that extra 5 minutes grace period,
It's amazing the complexity of it all, isn't it?
It is so complex, guys. I'm really struggling.
I think what's interesting is, like, a lot of the things where you realise you're in a rush or you're not, for me, all of these little thought experiments, they come about by accident. So I might accidentally, for no real reason, like, I might just be ready to leave a little bit earlier, and then I leave, and then I have a taste of, like, this drive was really nice.
Yes.
I'm not worried about the time.
Ugh.
I can listen to the podcast I was listening to, or I could listen to nothing, or, like, I can just enjoy the drive. But then if I'm by accident, let's say, late, or there's a bit more traffic or something, then I go, okay, this experience, what is normally quite like my nice drive to and from work, because I very much value that liminal space.
Yes,
agreed. In between.
I really enjoyed that too. We've got a similar thing, haven't we? Both a decent 40 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes is good.
40 minutes.
Good period of time.
Yeah.
Great for, like, one of these podcasts.
As I arrived earlier.
There you go. Yeah, you're blaring it out of your speaker. I'm like, it's my voice again. It's my voice again. So yeah, I think that's, what would we do if we weren't in a rush? So you probably enjoy the drive, less stress. And we're talking like 5 minutes, right?
So it really doesn't take a lot to just reduce stress.
I thought you were going to say it doesn't take a lot to get in on time.
It doesn't.
And I was going to hold it to you.
I will hold it to myself because I can do it on all the other days of the week. It's just some reason it's...
Comment below reminding on every single episode after this, asking Charlotte if she's been in on time.
Have you got in this week?
Keep her accountable.
11 o'clock on the dot. Petra and Piers were actually late. Shout out Petron Piss.
1-0. 15-1.
But yeah, I think it's, as you were saying, that, you've left 5 minutes earlier. You enjoy the drive more. You're taking in more stuff as well. You can go, it's a really nice day. Whereas you're driving and you're late. Don't care about the sun. Get out of the way. Learn to drive.
You can appreciate the learner driver.
You do, and you're just. I think one of the most important things is you're just more present. Instead of worrying about what's going to happen when you get to that destination that you're late for.
Yeah,
I think that's quite a important thing. Just staying present in general, right?
I think you're spot on, and that was one of the realizations that I came to when I kind of asked myself that question: what would I do if I wasn't in a rush? And a lot of it is I probably wouldn't spend all my time thinking about the future or predicting. Right, you try and predict, even like you take this can obviously apply to anything in life, but let's say it is the car journey. It is you start trying to predict, what's going to happen up the road. Like, when I get to this spot, is there going to be traffic? All you're doing is taking yourself out of the present and trying to predict the future, which, although our brains are prediction machines, like that's kind of what they've evolved to do, and they're great at it.
Yeah,
doesn't give you much of a sense of peace and calm.
God, I can't explain how good it is to clock that you're present with something. Like the other day when I was in the field after work on, what was it, Monday?
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
And I was on a little walk and I just lay down and I was like, I've got nothing else to do this evening. And it's so calming. And I think, I don't know if you're the same, I think we in general, we live in quite a fast-paced society now. And yeah, I a lot of days people go, how's your day? It's like, yeah, it was great. But I'll think about the morning. Like yesterday, for me, the morning was a blur. And I was speaking to someone as I was going to see them, and I was saying, well, I don't know what happened with the morning. I literally couldn't tell you. And it stresses me out, because then you spend that whole morning worrying about the future, and then you think about it when you do have a time to kind of just settle a little bit more. And then you think about the past, and you're like, oh, what, what's going on? So I do sometimes, as I say, it's just important to get that feeling of being present with stuff, and I think that comes with just timekeeping.
Yeah, it's allowing space to be present. Like,
yeah.
Because if you're pushed for time, or if you feel like you're working towards a deadline or something that you've got to go out of your way to be quicker for, you're just clock watching a lot of the times. Like, and I had it a lot, in especially like cross training, or even when we make these podcasts, like I'll look down to make sure it's like the laptop's still recording and taking the audio in.
Yeah.
But after a while, like, I don't know how long we've been talking for, because
God
you kind of
only
just
knows.
in the present.
Yeah.
So that's another one. I think allow space to actually enjoy what you're doing and to be mindful of it. Another one which I realised was not just a short term rushing, but maybe a longer term, medium to long term, like trying to be impatient and trying to rush things. Again, kind of learnt through my injuries, and a lot of the times expectations of when physios have said that I should be back by a certain time.
Yeah.
And so when that deadline comes about, let's say it's like in 6 weeks you should be all right, I'm then rushing towards then being like, I don't feel like I'm ready, but he said I'm going to be ready. And actually the impatience disrupts the progress.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between being deliberate and intentional about things and doing things with intent.
Agreed.
And then actually rushing through them. So for me, I kind of think, how would I train differently? How would I approach things differently if I gave myself 4 years to run fast rather than 6 months or 2 months or a week? And that very much drastically changes how I approach each session, because it allows me to probably make a lot more progress in the long term. It allows for compounding to take effect. But it also means that if I miss a day, or if, I go in and last week I wasn't feeling too great, I was a bit ill, Hayfie was a bit of a bitch.
Oh God, it's big.
He says that she's sitting on a farm.
My nose is so stuffy right now, I can't lie.
It's all right. It provides the dulcet tones. Don't do that.
Sorry, guys.
Don't edit these. We'll have to cut it out.
God, just be myself, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's your regret
I'm just
budget
living
right
in the
there.
present. I regret that so much.
And it's like, if you can, I say myself, like, if I want to be deliberate and urgent and like have intent with the things that I do, but I want to loosen my grip on trying to force progress too quickly. And since I've decided to be, to not rush progress with rehab and with running and stuff like that, I feel like I've opened the door for, in the long term, over the next few years and like decade, I'll make a lot more progress than if I was trying to force it.
Yeah.
So I think, like, you know, we all had these goals, and we have, especially, you know, a lot of clients will come into the gym and they'll talk about how they want to get ready for summer.
Yeah.
Or they get ready for a few weeks' time. And like, this is probably the time, right, early to mid-April, where people are thinking about summer now.
It starts.
If you didn't rush it and you thought, okay, like this summer, I just want to lay the groundwork of habits and be patient with it and say, like, next summer is where I really want to make improvements, you're going to do so much better than you ever did think you could.
Yeah. Just baby steps, man. Baby steps.
So that's
not comfortable.
That's rushing.
That is rushing.
I think we got time for one more. So yeah, rushing. Stop rushing.
Yeah.
You know, life's still happening. Allow yourself a little bit of space, and you probably end up doing a little bit more in the long term if you play it out for the long term.
Yeah.
And it just take the pressure off you. It would take the pressure off the, you know, forcing yourself to do things in the moment. Allow space for a little bit more progress.
There's so much to be learned and experienced from that.
Absolutely.
Factemundos.
The last one is about doubt.
Ooh.
This is about doubt, and I did a little snippet of this it was way back. It was on the 5th episode. It's when I was talking about injuries and what I've learned and stuff, where I literally just sat in front of one camera. Just me.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Mr. Doubtfire.
Mr. Doubtfire.
Kind of.
It's 2026.
Doubt is a sign that you're close to doing something that you didn't think you could do, or you have forgotten that you're capable of doing it.
Can you repeat that?
So doubt is a sign that you're close to doing something you don't think you could do, or it's a sign that you're close to doing something that you've forgotten you're capable of doing.
That's a really interesting take. I like that.
Does that resonate?
I've just never thought about it like that.
How do you normally see doubt?
I don't think I can do that. Just it's just for me, it's a negative connotation if I'm doubting something.
And what happens when you, like, do you get to? Surely there's been situations where you've doubted that you could do it, but you do it anyway.
Oh yeah.
So what do you take from that?
I was close to doing it, but I could do it. wait, yeah. Close to doing something that I didn't think I could do, that I can do. I doubted myself at university.
And then what happened? You got first. Hell yeah.
Gosh.
I think it's crazy, like those, you know, a lot of the thoughts that we'll have, a lot of resistance. This guy called Stephen Pressfield. He's got a really cool book. He's got two really cool books that I've read. One is called The War of Art, and the other's called Turning Pro. And in The War of Art, there is an idea, basically fleshes it out, called like resistance. And it is just anything that is kind of preventing you from achieving the things that you want to do in life. And it could be, and one of them I took as, like, one of the things is doubt.
Yeah.
Things that, and your mind's really gets really super smart about the ways that it wraps doubt up into something that's really convincing and persuasive. Sometimes it will be in a way that's saying, like, you know, you've already done enough, or you can back off now. It could be really nice to you. It could also be a thing which is just like quite an aggressive person that's saying, like, I don't think you can do this, and you haven't given me evidence that you've done it before, so why should you be able to do it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I have.
Perfectionist mindset.
Yeah. Just like, you haven't shown that you can do it before, so like, what makes you think? Kind of thing. But then I think I've also had times where I've been pretty optimistic with stuff. Like, I doubt I can do it, but I'll give it a try.
I think that's the best thing to go on.
Yeah, I've just never really thought. It's just really interesting to think about it like that, the way you put it.
I just always think like every kind of negative kind of concept. I see a kind of yin yang thing, yin yang, which is like it's always got a flip side. I just see things as signals to then direct myself back to things, and that's and it's just to come about on the Watt bike over years and years. So much doubt of like, oh, I've overcooked this, I've gone too hard, like I just haven't fueled enough, and that my mind makes up all these great persuasive arguments and stuff.
It's for safety inevitably, isn't it? Like your mind's really trying to protect yourself, but
100%.
Sometimes it's not.
It's trying to protect you and your body, and understandably. And it's also probably a conditioned thing that has worked in the past.
Fight or flight.
The doubt has served you,
and
evolutionary has probably served us, like you say, kind of fight or flight. It's like
I doubt that lion's just going to let me walk past him. Probably got to go the other way.
There you go. Yeah, I doubt that I could take on the lion. Probably for the best then.
Gonna walk the other way. Yeah.
And I think it's the best thing about overcoming doubts in a environment like, let's say, the gym, a safe environment, or on something which is low impact for me, like a cross trainer or a bike or a ski erg or whatever, is that you just really get to understand how it manifests in real time, and the awareness, you then welcome it. Like I then chase doubt. So I go to a point in a session where if I'm not doubting myself, then I'm not pushing hard enough.
Ooh, champion.
So it's like, okay, have I got a lot to give? Well, it's like, well, my mind is well positive at the moment. I'm saying, yeah, I can do it easy. Then, I probably should push a bit harder. And then as soon as I get that, oh dear, here we go. Like, this is actually starting to hurt. I don't think I can do this. Then at that point, I'm like, right, I know I'm in exactly the right spot.
You pull a rock when he goes, shut up, bitch. And then just keep going.
And then keep pushing, keep pedaling.
Yeah, keep pushing. That's why we've got this problem.
Yeah, literally. Well, that's it. It's important to say that those sort of like doubts is you do have to think, is it going to cause like actual physical harm?
I'm doubting myself, but my knee is also hurting quite a bit, so probably should stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I have my playground of all of these like experiences and concepts is on something which is low impact and low risk.
Yes.
And so I can determine whether it is purely mental or physical. So that's doubt.
That's doubt.
There you go. That's doubt for you.
It's a doubt fire.
Well,
that is good.
Charlotte, thank you for hosting me today.
Charlie, no, thank you for those pearls of wisdom. I genuinely really enjoyed talking about that. Sometimes.
So do
I. No, I did. I really did. I felt like I was listening to it properly, which was nice.
That's unreal. No way.
It makes a change, doesn't it? You said, what's your opinion on this, Charlotte? Let me just think about that for a second.
I feel heard and seen now.
It's just what I do, mate. It's just what I do.
All right. Thank you for listening. Give us a little rating on Spotify if you're watching on YouTube.
Thumbs up.
Ben's been doing some great visuals.
Ben's pretty cool.
Have a look over the last episode where I consistently kept falling back in my chair, which is kind of funny over like 40 minutes. Give us a follow. It's just like, right, I should probably reposition my chair now.
I'm saying very unnecessary things. Yes, give us a follow, give us a like, comment, and subscribe.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, share it with a friend. If you feel like a friend needs to hear this, share it with a friend.
And then our Venmo details are not. All right, guys.
All right, we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Bye.